1 minute.
There's an unprecedented crisis at the southern border. Literally hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants are crossing into the United States, stretching our patrol officers and enforcement down there to the breaking point. In February of this year, over 100,000 illegals were apprehended. That's a 28% increase from the year before. And I guarantee it's only going to get worse. The projections are even more than that this coming month. The illegal border crossings are now 5 times higher than before President Biden was inaugurated. And this is all fueled by the open border policies of this administration, promising amnesty, ending the wall construction, halting deportations, handcuffing our law enforcement, and undermining border security. President Trump gave President Biden a secure southern border, and in less than 3 months, it has been dismantled. This is absolute insanity. Meanwhile, here in Washington, the Democratic majority is cheerfully.
Gentleman's time's expired.
Yield the gentleman an additional 30 seconds.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you. The Democratic Party is cheerfully pushing more legislation to incentivize more illegals coming here. We have these bills promoting amnesty. We are literally exalting illegals in this country over those who have waited years to become citizens. This is not rocket science. The Democratic Party knows this is going to create a greater crisis, and they simply don't care. It's time to stop fueling the crisis and start solving it. With that, I urge my colleagues to vote no, and I yield back.
Well, this fence needs to come down. The failures we saw on January 6th had nothing to do with a fence. You're not going to defeat hate with a fence. You're not going to defeat white supremacy with a fence. And beyond that, this is part of our neighborhood. This Capitol building and the grounds around it are part of the fabric of our neighborhood. And this fence needs to come down because this is our side yard. It's our front yard. It has a deep impact on D.C. residents, and this needs to come down if we're going to figure out our way forward and how we're going to address what failed on January 6th.
I realize that there are security incidents that happen, and I realize that there is a temporary need for the fence, but there's certainly no need for barbed wire fence, and there's certainly no need for permanent fences. I mean, I know that the solution seems to be approaching retractable fencing, which might be a good idea, but certainly nothing as barbaric as what we have behind us.
I've introduced a bill called the No Fencing in the Capitol, and I am pleased to report that we're getting somewhere. A task force has reported in that a retractable fence would more than do. One of the reasons the Capitol was overrun is that the former president didn't call out the troops. There were a dozen or so different federal police forces who could have more than protected the Capitol.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
Having lived in Berlin.
Carolina, seek recognition.
Madam Speaker, I rise and you ask of unanimous consent to address the House for 1 minute and to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, there is nothing an American will not do to defend his country. I rise today in defense of my homeland. I am angry, not just for the destruction of American values perpetrated by those on the left, but I am angry because my colleagues simply do not seem to care. They do not care that our border is non-existent. that 6,000 criminals cross into our country daily. They do not care that 64% of federal arrests are of illegal immigrants. And they do not care that America's welfare and infrastructure system simply cannot handle this influx of criminal immigrants. They do not care because to them, power is all that matters. I have a message to the power-hungry and the partisan. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It is in the nature of Americans to be kind. It is in our nature to be gentle and loving. But know this, when it comes to the matter of protecting our friends, our family, and our heartland, do not trifle with this representative democracy. For we the people will not stop. We will never back down. We will give our everything to protect those dear to us.
Gentleman's
This is
time
our
has
country.
expired.
This is our republic. Finish the wall.